I have seen around the internet this trend of personal curriculum, and I thought, what a better way to kind of take that year-long plan and really break it down into quarterly actionable things that help you reach that bigger goal. This is going to change how you learn for the rest of your life. So I started to really focus on challenging myself with just how I grow, how I evolve as a person for the rest of my life. And I stumbled upon a concept that really helped me put shape around this idea and this concept. And I'm sure some of you may have heard, it's called a personal curriculum. I wrote a little Substack article about it and just how I plan on implementing it to increase my overall growth as a person, put structure around the things that I want to learn and or change about myself, and really focuses on helping you evolve, focuses on self-improvement, and truly will change and reframe how you think and how you grow. So if you want to learn a little bit about how I plan on implementing a personal curriculum into my own life, continue to watch this video. I'll go ahead and break mine down for you. So let's go ahead and get into it. So most of us that went to college, and many of us did well with school because it was a structured learning environment with a mix of excitement and a curiosity to some degree, because hopefully you selected a major that you were truly passionate about. But after school, a lot of us kind of were left to kind of figure things out on our own. So it could be a very difficult transition for those that are leaving school to leading a life that is seemingly unguided based on where we were coming from with school. So I, as of late, and I didn't really know that I was personally following this structure, but it is just a personal kind of remedy that myself and my husband Ryan have done over the past few years. Every year we would do this at the end of the year, and we would kind of set the tone for the upcoming year. But I have seen around the internet this trend of personal curriculum, and I thought, what a better way to kind of take that year-long plan and really break it down into quarterly actionable things that help you reach that bigger goal. So I really fell in love with the thought of a personal curriculum and really using it as a tool to not only add some structured learning with some deadlines, but also to kind of solve that post-structured drift that you would get post-school, where you were kind of forced to learn in a certain time frame with certain goals and certain milestones that you have to hit. But what would it look like if we decided to do that for ourselves? So that is what personal curriculum learning will look like. And we'll get into it today, but lots to go over. But let's first tackle the problem. Okay, so the problem. We leave college from a very structured learning environment. And a lot of us leave that environment with a mix of excitement, but also a little bit of uneasiness. What do we do now without these kind of guidances that we've had for the past 4 or 5 years in college? But also school didn't really provide the opportunity for you to add in, what do I want to learn one day? What are the skills, or what are the things outside of my degree that I hope to acquire one day that I may find useful later in life? So once that kind of scaffolding falls away, learning becomes a little bit fuzzier. I've done things like I've saved articles, right? You bookmark podcasts, and you might buy a book, and maybe you fail to really get past chapter 2. So you don't fully commit. I have mapped out the curriculum. So I've put all the little nods of college college verbiage here, but I put my semester, which is fall 2025. I'm taking a total of 12 credits here. So I'm taking four courses that are 3 credits each. I am the registrar here. And that is also a great thing to notate, that you are picking these classes. There should be no real reason why you're not able to execute, why you're not able to see the semester through. And then I have indicated all 4 of the classes that I'm taking along with the learning objective for each here. Okay, and then I have also created a schedule for myself where I have the course title, the day of the class, and the milestones listed. And I have the day of the class for each one. Again, I've indicated that I will be taking my Spanish class every day because I do not want to ruin that Duolingo streak. I have to keep that. My goal is to ultimately make it a full 365 days, so a full year without skipping a day. So that's the schedule that I have there. And then I've gone in a little deeper for each course, and I've really ironed it out. So class title, language, Spanish 600, reclaiming comprehension. I've put my focus area, which is language immersion and conversational fluency, my objectives for the course, my key tasks and actions, my tools and resources, the milestones that I have, and then I've left a little area blank here, which are the results and learnings that I can go in at the end of the semester and put in what I've taken away from this course. And I've done the same thing for the tennis course, which is building rhythm and community. I've done the same thing for my cooking class, which is seasonal hosting and culinary expression. And I've done the same thing for my design/taste making course, which is object versus subject, how design is translated. So let's get into my fall 2025 curriculum. So my focus for my first so I've kind of done this loosely. I didn't follow this exact format, but I've done a variation of this or so. But this time around for my fall 2025 personal curriculum, I really wanted to focus on replacing passive habits with more meaningful practices, and made sure to design each course intentionally to build a routine for myself, to deepen my skills, and to really create this sense of flow between various parts of my life. So I have a lot of interests. I have a lot of skills. It is very important to me to acquire new skills. So I'm focusing this fall curriculum on skills, language, cooking, and design/taste making. And we'll get into a little bit more of that as I go through how I've actually built it out, the structure that I've used for building out my curriculum. And you'll see this beautiful mood board here. So I've created a mood board for my personal curriculum. I find that an important element for any time that I'm creating or thinking through anything. I need a visual representation of the direction that I want to go. And so that's what I did. I kind of combined all those skills and everything that I'm working on for the fall semester, and I put it in a visual guide. So you have kind of the skill elements, all the things I'm trying to learn. You'll see as we go along, these pictures will make more sense for you as I'm going through my curriculum. But I will go ahead and just share with you some of my 4 courses that I've chosen to take this semester, and we could talk more about those in depth maybe down the road. I'll try to maybe do a breeze through because these courses may not be interesting to you all. But so again, I said I want to focus on skill, and the skill that I want to focus on this semester was my tennis. And you'll see this kind of represented here on my mood board and here. But I wanted to focus on building both a routine and community when it comes to tennis. Set a focus this semester to focus on developing physical skill and community through consistent practice. So at my tennis club, there's a beginner cardio tennis class that all of the people that are in my ranking, so if like you're 2530, this is a great class to attend to meet people that are also starting out, that are trying to build that routine for themselves. So I'm able to really use that as momentum to continue to meet other people and find a consistent group of people to play with. So these are my goals, and we'll just go down the list. So my goal was to join a beginner team to stay accountable, attend the weekly cardio sessions to meet new players, to build a consistency in my routine and confidence in my gameplay. And the last goal is to create opportunities for connection and movement outside of work. I'm not someone that has ever lived for the weekends. I don't do that. I like getting off of work and immediately going to do an activity or spending time with friends. The next one is a language. I'm calling this course Spanish 600. That's represented here by the books and the little Spanish book here for lessons. I took 5 years of Spanish, and through high school and into my first year of college. So my main focus here is really to re-engage that muscle memory of Spanish and actually speak it and put it into practice in my daily life. I have people in my life that speak Spanish and I don't speak to them in Spanish, and I really want to take those opportunities to use that as a practice to become a more conversationalist when it comes to speaking Spanish. So my goal here, my focus in this course is to rebuild fluency and comprehension in this language, since I've already kind of have the foundation there. And I want to practice daily. So I have already started Duolingo. I've shown screenshots on my personal page. I want to maintain my Duolingo streak. I think right now I'm at 56 days or something like that. So I do have on my course calendar that Spanish is something that I will practice every day, and that is because I want to relearn my vocabulary and structure through immersive learning and speaking. I want to integrate the language into everyday life from music and conversations. Again, I have Spanish-speaking people that I have great relationships with in my life, and I want to be able to use that to speak with them in their native tongue. And I want to reignite that part of my brain that really loves learning just for the sake of curiosity. I love the challenge of it. So that will be my goals for this semester for Spanish 600. Okay, next is cooking, specifically around seasonal hosting and culinary confidence. So I am very much so a perfectionist, especially when it comes to entertaining. I want to dot every I, cross every T. I think details are important. I want people to remember the experiences that I've hosted for them. And so with that, sometimes it stops me from doing because I put so much pressure on myself from that aspect, as I just want the experiences to be memorable. So you'll see that represented here with the pears in the beautiful bowl, as well as this. I have a little dish here, and then this centerpiece there. So I want to focus on creating warm connections through food, making sure that I am selecting dishes and ingredients that are reflective of the season that we're in. And I think that will be such a rewarding way to host, such a memorable way to host. So my goals for this semester are to build a go-to farmers market list of core ingredients and a list of go-to growers and makers that I can buy my various ingredients from. So that is a big thing for me, is I will get these lofty dishes sometime that also prevent me from being able to execute. So if I find something that is simple but is beautiful and flavorful, I think that will help kind of mitigate some of that anxiety that I have there when it comes to preparing food for groups. I want to host a holiday party and contribute these new dishes for Thanksgiving as well. And then I want to begin curating a dinnerware and silverware collection that will last for years. So I am a firm believer, if you don't buy it right, you buy it twice. So I really focus on buying quality across all of my purchases to make sure that it's not something that I have to continue to purchase over and over again because it either fell apart or it doesn't work anymore or something like that. So, and I want to really have this beautiful curated collection of dinnerware dishes, that maybe some that kind of mix and match, some plates that I might acquire from my travels, things like that. So that is really important for me for that cooking course. And then for my design / taste making course, this one is a little bit deeper, a little bit loftier, but it is the object versus subject course I'm calling it, and it's basically how design is translated for an end user. So the focus here is going to be exploring how meaning shifts when you move more to receiving design to shaping it. And for someone that their main goal and their main job is creating a vision for the company and also driving the vision for products for our company, it's important that I become and stay in the seat of shaping products rather than just merely receiving them. So my goals for the semester for this course are particularly study how design communicates when it's a leading design rather than following trends. This is not something that I'm big into anyways. I've always been someone that's kind of gone against the trends. I want to focus on analyzing branding and product design through a subject lens. I want to build a body of references that influence my own creative approach. And I want to strengthen my ability to translate abstract ideas into more tangible design choices. Now, I feel like one of the things when you come from this place of just working alone and working by yourself, you know exactly what's in your head. You know what you need, you know what you're trying to do. And for me, sometimes it's a struggle making sure that that is properly communicated to the people around me. So this is a big goal for me for this design/taste making course of object versus subject. So very excited about this semester. So let's go into how I've set this structure out on paper. So all of that has played into how I have formatted this into I'm calling this my course syllabus. I need everything tangible at my fingertips, so I'm constantly reminded of my goals for the semester. So again, I've created that visual guide here that will map out where I'm trying to go for the semester. So I hope that this personal curriculum is something that you find very powerful for your own life and that it's something that you're able to implement. I would love to know which courses you'll be taking or if this is of interest to you. I've also created a Substack article where you can kind of take your time and really digest how to do this on your own. So I'll leave the link to that in the bio, but this is what it looks like for now. Again, I'm sure as I get a little bit more acclimated with the fall semester that it'll kind of shift around a bit, but I hope this inspired you to take action on some of the things that you have been eager to learn and that you have found this concept very helpful. I would love to see what you all are thinking of taking and the courses that you are designing for fall 2025, or maybe you're going to wait for the top of the year and you're going to do something for winter. Share below. Let's help each other out and give each other some ideas on courses that we can take for upcoming semesters. So thank you all for watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.